Welcome, beloved, to another beautiful episode of The Reclamation. I am Paula Collins, your Magdalene Sound Priestess and Spirituality Mentor, here to take you on yet another journey, another way to look at your life, another way to work through healing. This episode is an offering from my heart to yours. It is a tender and truthful exploration of something many of us carry without even realizing it, the mother wound. This is a sacred continuation of the last episode where we explored the Divine Mother archetype. And today we go deeper into the tender spaces where our unmet needs, silent longings, and inherited pain have shaped us. So settle in, light a candle if you can, place a hand over your heart, and know you are not alone. So what is this mother wound? The mother wound is not about blaming our mothers. It is about acknowledging the pain that's been passed down through our ancestral lines, through societal lines, and our personal lines. It's a wound we inherit when our mothers, grandmothers, and great-grandmothers were never allowed to fully express, feel, or be free. It's the result of a world that has taught women to abandon themselves in the name of being good, quiet, or useful. And we internalize it as guilt for needing too much, shame for speaking our truth, perfectionism to earn love, emotional self-sacrifice, deep aching unworthiness, I should say. And maybe, just maybe, a fear that we were too much or never enough. But let me say this clearly, softly, and with power. You are not too much. You are a daughter of the stars reclaiming her crown. So you're probably wondering, how does this mother wound show up? Well, it shows up in the way we silence our voices. You know what I'm talking about there? We have a different belief or a different take on what somebody is talking about or the discussion at hand, and we keep ourselves silent because we're afraid of being abandoned. We're afraid of being ridiculed. We're afraid of being told that our opinion doesn't matter. This wound shows up in our friendships with other women through comparison, distrust, or distance. We look at the women around us. It could be in our families, could be in our circle, could be people that we see on TV or just out in public. And we start to doubt who we are as a woman. And we see ourselves as inferior and somebody who will never measure up. It shows up when we overgive and we feel resentful. Think about how many times you overgive, even in a day, to your family, to your friends, to your coworkers, to your job, maybe even to strangers. Because as women, we are taught to put everybody else first. We are taught that it is important to make sure we take care of and nurture everybody else, that everyone else is happy, that everybody else's needs are taken care of first. And then if there is time at the very end, well, we get to give that to ourselves. And eventually that leads to resentfulness. We start to think Why don't I receive this in return? Why doesn't anybody see my needs and my wants, my desires? And it shows up in our ability to receive pleasure, love, and support. Because we are so used to giving, we don't know how to receive. And when we do, there's always a thank you followed by a but. So when somebody gives us something out of pure love or friendship, we're like, thank you, but you really shouldn't have. Thank you, but I really don't deserve this. Or we think that to ourselves. We're like, wow, they gave me something. I don't deserve that. I'm not good enough for that. Is any of this hitting for you? Did you have a ping inside your gut or inside your heart? Did you have a remembering in your mind? This is all the mother wound. It shows up when we fear becoming a mother, or we fear becoming our mothers, right? Because we don't want to be trapped the way we felt maybe our own mother was trapped. We don't want to be soft, maybe the way our own mother was soft. We don't want to look and feel haggard the way our own mother was. And so we fear that we are becoming like them, and we don't want that. Or we feel guilt for not being enough for our own mothers. We think about, oh my gosh, I should have been there more. I should have done this. I should have done this. I should have. The should have, the could have, and the would haves start to creep in because we feel as if we didn't do enough for our own mothers. And I know how that feels deep inside because that was me. Towards the end of my mom's life, she became so much more dependent on me, but I had young children still at home. And I was so busy trying to take care of my home, my husband, my children, that when she would call, I would start to feel a little resentful. Have you felt that? And the guilt that comes with that? The guilt that says you weren't a good daughter. The guilt that says you should have been there more for your mom after all she did for you your entire life. That is the mother wound. That is the mother wound. And we feel guilty because maybe our children saw that in us, or our friends saw that in us, that we weren't there, or we made excuses, or we complained about our moms needing us so much. Believe me, that one hits really close to home. And at times, that is still a guilt that I am working on. And I know deep down in my heart that my mother, my beautiful mother, would have never wished me to feel guilty. She wouldn't have wished that for me. But it can creep up, right? But most of all, this mother wound shows up in how we mother ourselves, or we don't mother ourselves. We don't nurture ourselves. We don't take care of ourselves the way we should. And so we feel guilty. Or maybe we take me time so that we can show up for ourselves. And then guilt creeps in that we could have been doing something else. We could have been helping someone else. We could have been doing, and the list goes on and on. Doesn't it? So, what is this healing path that we need to be on to help us to heal this mother wound? Well, first of all, I want you to know that healing the mother wound is not about fixing, it's about remembering. It shows up in the way we reparent our own inner child with compassion, with unconditional love, with grace, with mercy, with forgiveness, with understanding. We can use sound healing to release energetic imprints of grief and guilt. Sound healing is so magical. It is my favorite way to help others heal because sound, excuse me, in and of itself has the ability to cross barriers within our brains, within our energetics, within our thoughts. And so with sound healing, we can gently and beautifully release those imprints of the grief, of the guilt. We can let them go. We can allow sound and frequency to carry them away. And as it carries it away, the sound goes deeper and it heals those parts inside of ourselves. It heals any of the scars. And it is such a beautiful thing. I get excited when somebody books a sound healing with me because I know that I get to help them go deeper. I get to help them sit with whatever it is. And they have that option then to release those energetic imprints. We can create a ritual and a sacred space for our younger self to remind us to reparent our inner child with compassion. You can create a beautiful altar with a picture of your younger self on it, maybe a couple of crystals or some magical items. And every time you pass by that sacred space, you remember that you are allowed to stop and reparent your inner child in a way that your own mom was not able to do it for you. Because let's be totally honest here, my beloveds. Expecting somebody else to fix us is selfish, and it's putting a hell of a lot of responsibility on them. We have to remember that people are doing the best that they can with the tools that they have. And we offer them grace and forgiveness. But the responsibility becomes ours as an adult, that we can reparent our inner child. We have the option to do that. We can create rituals where we light a candle, we have incense going, we have our crystals, we sit in our sacred space that allows us the time to go into meditation, to meet our inner child, to talk to them, to see what they have to say, to tell them that we are still here, that we see them, that we hear them, that we love them, that we are not leaving and we will help them heal. Do you know what a beautiful gift that is that you can give to yourself? It is the most beautiful healing balm that you can receive. And you, my beloved, have the power to do that. We can also invite in the Divine Mother as presence, as peace, and as a deep yes to our sacredness. The Divine Mother wants to help us. She wants to hold us in her womb space. She wants to cuddle us. She wants to help us heal if we allow her to. The Divine Mother has this beautiful sacred power. And if you have ever been in communion and communication with her, you know what that feels like. And because you know what it feels like, you go back again and again and again. Because you want to be in her presence, you want to be in her peace, and you want to be in her sacredness. Because healing is not linear at all. It is cyclical. It is like a beautiful spiral, and it is feminine. And what my healing journey looks like compared to your healing journey or somebody else's healing journey is very different, because we have all had different experiences in our lives. The way we grew up, the people that we hung out with, our experiences as a child, as an adolescent, as an adult, as a young adult. The pain, the trauma, the suffering for each of us has been different. Even if we had a shared experience, even in families where there are more than one child, each child sees that experience from their own worldview and their own chemical makeup and how they came into this world. And so we can't look at somebody else and say, she's further than me. My sister's further than me. My brother's further than me. My daughter's further than me. My friend is further than me. It's not a contest. It is not a race. It is a beautiful, energetic, healing journey that we get to embrace in our own way and our own time. Sure, it is wonderful to have a guide to help us do that. Believe me, in the beginning of my journey, I did the same thing. And you know what? There are still times, even though I can perform Reiki on myself, I can give myself my own sound healing, I can help myself I can do my own rituals, I can do my own cord cuttings, I can do my own ho'oponopono, for goodness sake. But sometimes it is really nice to have somebody else do all the work so I can sit there and be in my own presence and enjoy and release and have somebody who is holding space for me to do so. Somebody that when I come out of the healing experience or the ritual is there to say, how are you feeling? How did you receive that? How was the release? Is there anything else that you need? Because isn't it wonderful when somebody else can hold us during our healing? So I'd like to take a moment now to release some of what was never yours to carry. So if you are in a safe space, I invite you to close down your eyes, because we are going to go on a beautiful journey to release some inherited pain. So gently close down your eyes and begin to breathe slowly and deeply, noticing that breath pattern of your own. What does it feel like when you take a deep inhale into your beautiful beingness? And what does it feel like when you have a beautiful, long, deep exhale? Can you feel yourself beginning to soften? Can you feel yourself beginning to calm down, to relax more? I want you to imagine you are standing barefoot in a forest. Feel the warm and soft earth beneath you. How does it feel upon your feet? How does it feel to be in this forest? Can you feel the energetics and the vibration of it? With every breath, Feel roots growing from the soles of your feet down deep into the earth. Can you feel the Great Mother, the Divine Mother? Can you feel her as she is welcoming those roots deep into her womb space? These roots that are growing into the earth are tangled with old beliefs, with inherited pain and ancestral grief. Can you feel that? Is anything coming to mind when I say old beliefs, inherited pain, or ancestral grief? Allow yourself to breathe into that heaviness. Breathing deeply, inhaling deeply, and exhaling fully. Allow yourself to feel it throughout your body. You are in a safe space to feel it right now. Breathe into the heaviness that you feel in your body, in your heart, in your mind, maybe even in the energetic space around you. Breathing deeply, inhaling deeply, and exhaling fully. Now I want you to imagine the earth, the Great Mother, the Divine Mother whispering to you, "Let go, beloved. I can hold what you no longer need." Inhale deeply. And with each exhale, let something go. Inhale deeply. And exhale a belief that no longer serves you. Inhale deeply. And exhale a story you no longer want to be a part of. Inhale deeply. And exhale and release shame that is not yours to carry any longer. Inhale deeply and exhale grief that you have been carrying for far too long. Inhale deeply and exhale silence that you may have felt, but is no longer yours to carry. And imagine, sense, feel, and see these roots begin to unravel. It's like threads that are untying. Allow the Great Mother, the Divine Mother, to help you unravel all of the knots. Imagine those things are like rose petals floating downstream, far away from you. They are no longer yours to hold, beloved. Letting go, letting go, letting go. And imagine, sense, and feel the presence of the Divine Mother, the Great Mother. She appears beside you. She is radiant and she is soft And her softness is a strength like nothing you have ever felt before. And you allow her radiance and her softness to be embodied in you. She places her hand on your heart and she whispers to you, beloved, you were never meant to carry this. You are free. You are loved. You are enough. And she invites you to place your own hands over your heart center and to repeat after her, I am free. I am loved. I am enough. Breathe that in deeply, my beloved. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Carry this beautiful feeling of freedom, of love, of enoughness with you. Carry the radiance and the softness of the Divine Mother with you. Carry her presence with you. A deep inhale and a deep exhale. And when you are ready, my beloved, return to the present moment, feeling lighter, feeling clearer, feeling more like you. How was that experience for you? Were you able to engage with yourself? Were you able to engage with the Divine Mother? Were you able to release something? Were you able to let it go forever? When we engage in these types of practices, we become the woman that we were born to be. Can you feel that? You get to become the woman you were born to be, the one that you made the decision to incarnate to be. And this is not about erasing your mother. It's not. She still gets to hold a beautiful space with you, whether she is still here on this physical plane or she has passed beyond the veil. What this is about is becoming your own mother. It's about choosing to mother yourself with gentleness. It's about choosing to rewrite the story of your worth. You turn the page in your book of life, and that page is empty. Do you know why? Because you get to write your story of the woman that you want to be. You can write about the messy. Sure, that is important. I write about the messy. But through that, I write about the beautiful lessons that I have learned and the wisdom that I have gained, because that makes me stronger. And beloved, that makes you stronger as well. And you also get to choose to be a cycle breaker. You no longer have to continue that hamster wheel, that cycle of what used to be. When you break the cycle, do you know what you do? You give a beautiful gift to those who came before and those who will come after. You get to choose to be the medicine woman of your own life. The beautiful medicine woman that knows how to heal, that welcomes healing, that welcomes transformation. and is open to it. And you get to choose to be the sacred one who remembers. Remember, beloved, you are not broken and you were never broken. You are becoming. You are the rose that blooms after generations of drought. You are the one your lineage has been waiting for. They have been hoping for, they have been praying for. And I don't want you to see that as something that is heavy with obligation. I want you to see it with something that is the light of hope. I know that when I break the cycles, that my mom, my grandmother, my great-grandmother, my aunties break that too. And I know that now my daughter won't have to deal with it anymore, and my beautiful granddaughter won't have to deal with it. And I know that any future generations will not have to. And do you know how beautiful that feels within you? It's amazing. I want to thank you so much for walking into the depths with me today. If this episode stirred something in you, please give yourself space to journal, to move, to cry, and to rest, because you, my beloved, are worthy of healing. You are worthy of it. And if this episode resonated with you and you know a sister, a mother, or a friend who may be walking the same path, I invite you, give them this gift of healing. Share this episode with them so that they can start remothering and reparenting themselves. And I want you to know that I am holding you in this journey, softly, fiercely, and reverently. Remember to like, to subscribe, to share, even comment. You are loved. And until next time, remember, you are sacred, you are sovereign, and you are so, so deeply loved.